Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Today what we're going to do is we're going to take your parabola video in which you recorded and put onto your desktop, and we are going to actually put it into a program called GIMP. So what we're going to do first, we're going to open GIMP. GIMP can be either found in your start menu down below, or I have it directly on my desktop. It looks like this little raccoon with a paintbrush. So we're going to open up GIMP. That takes a couple of seconds to load. And what we want to see is we want to see three screens, as I have right here. I want three different layers. We have a background layer right here, the menu bar. We have a toolbox which we need. And over here is the layers, channels, and paths. Please, if you do end up closing one of these, very easy to get them back. The window bar right here opens up what was recently closed. So if you accidentally come through and you close one of these, when I come to my window bar, I can just hit this recently closed docs, and layers, channels, paths, I can bring that back up. Okay? So, first what we're going to do, we are going to go and open, and we're going to open those layers and pictures that you took of your video, but we want to open them as layers. So when we go to File, we want to say Open as Layers. Now what this is going to do with our video is just a bunch of pictures taken over a very short amount of time, and it plays back to us like a video. So what I have to do is I have to find those pictures, which I have on my desktop, which I'm going to place right here. I'm going to scroll down to that parabola video. And when I open that up, I have all of those videos, those pictures from that video that we took. Okay? So the way I get these all in as layers is I have to hold in the Shift key. And if I don't hold in Shift and just move down, it's just going to select a different one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Shift, and I'm just going to hold the down button to select all of those images that we took from that parabola video. And once they are all blue, I'm going to hit the button Open. It'll take a minute, and if you see this doing correctly, you will have in that layer, channel, path window you have over here, all of those pictures will be coming in to this window. Okay, so it takes about a couple seconds for that to load in. I'll take it from there. Okay. Now, where this is going to start, this picture right here is where we actually ended the video. So after Isaiah took that shot, it went through, the ball bounced, and now it's back up here. So the way GIMP works is anytime you see this little eyeball in this layers, channels, and paths menu, that is actually showing us the picture that's on top. So what we are going to do is we're going to keep a certain picture on top, and we're going to edit out the rest of it. So what I want to do, if I don't want to see this, I'm going to click the eyeball, and it instantly goes away. Now here's the next picture. I don't want that one because that doesn't show my parabola at all, so I'm going to click that one again. And I'm going to keep clicking until I start seeing that ball go through the basketball hoop. If you notice, the ball starts going in reverse. So right about, I can judge this to the best of my ability, maybe right about here we want to start. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. First, let's say this is what we want. All we want to take out of this picture, we're going to have Isaiah shooting in good form, but what we're going to take out of this, we're going to pretty much cut out this little basketball, and then we are going to layer it so that only the basketball shows all the way back to where Isaiah started his shot. So first what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over to this tool in my toolbox, which is called the ellipse tool. It's a circle, and I'm going to click on that, and now I get this little tool that allows me to create an ellipse, which I'm going to make a circle. So the way I make a circle is I'm going to drag this over the ball. And if I hold the Shift key in, you notice right there, I just made it a perfect circle, which is what our ball is. I'm going to hover that over that ball. Now if you notice here, this ball is now selected. If I want to move it around, I can just move it just like any other move tool allows me to use. But I want to put it over that ball. If I want to re-stretch it, I can drag it up. I can possibly drag it over. So you'll see the toolbar, the ellipse tool actually changes just a little bit as I hover. And maybe a little bit more right. Right about there. Okay. Now once I have that, there's a very important button that you are going to hit. You are going to hit the button in a combination of Control-I. So what I'm going to do, when I hit Control-I, I want you to watch the outside of this video. Watch the outside of this picture, I mean. I hit Control-I. What I like to call these right here, these are the little ants as they're dancing around the picture. That's what we want. Control I is pretty much indicating what we want to take out of this picture. So everywhere you see those little dancing ants, that is what we are focused on. So what I'm going to do now from this point, I'm going to come over to the picture. I'm not going to go over and hover over the eye. I'm not going to hover over the blank spot over here, but I'm rather going to hover over either the picture or the letters and words and numbers over here, where we actually have that MPG. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, and I get a bunch of different options right here. What I want is the one that's down in the middle. It says Add Layer Mask. When I click this, it's going to give me some more options. Now what I'm going to do with this, I want to cut out only that ball, and I don't want anything else showing in this picture. The way I do that is I want to come down to here, which was Selection, and all these little ants are my selections. But the trick is, I want to keep the ball there, but none of the rest of this picture. So in order to do that, I click Selection. I'm also going to check the box that says Invert Mask. And once I have those two checked, I'm going to click the Add button. And if I did this correctly, you notice a black box pops up directly next to the picture that I just created, as well as now my original ball was there, as well as, hey, there's the ball following that path backwards to Isaiah's hand. So we're going to do that again. Now I'm going to click on the second picture that I want right here. This is the picture. The blue highlight shows that I'm on that. I'm going to do the same thing again. Click that ellipse tool. I'm going to hold Shift. I'm going to create a circle. That'll be that basketball. I want to size it pretty much to the size of that basketball. That looks about good. I'm going to select Control I. And when I do that, make sure the ants are dancing. Dancing around the ball, dancing around the photo. Following that, hover over the picture, either the picture or the letters, numbers, everything else over here. Right click. I'm going to come here to Add Layer Mask. The nice thing about GIMP is it will remember everything that you do. So I already have the selection taken. I have the invert mask, and I'm going to hit Add again. And if I did it right, I get the little black box to the right of it. And then continuing, I have another ball. So I'm going to do this one more time and show you what's going to actually happen here. So here we go again. I hold Shift, ellipse, make my circle. Perfect circle in there. Looks about good. Maybe I'll stretch that up just a bit. And now I'm going to hit Control I. Oops, I made a mistake. I'll come back, Shift again. Make sure, there we go. That's what I want to have happening right now. I'm still on this picture. I now hit Control I. The ants are dancing again. So from here, right click, Add Layer Mask, Add, and then the next ball is gone. So you see this pattern pretty much continues. If you ever make a mistake on here, the best way to do it in GIMP is just to go to that Edit tool up top and just hit Undo. If I undo this, it'll just bring it back to what I was originally. If I wanted that picture, I can just hit Redo and it'll bring it back to me. It's a nice, easy tool to use. Or Control Z works. Now let's say one last question is, what happens if you don't want this ball here? Let's say this ball down here is not a part of your parabola. Well, that's an easy way. I'm going to take this ball and make that nice and quick. Come over. Right there. Control I. Go. Make sure those ants are dancing first. So I have this. Control I. Add that layer mask. And it keeps going. So let's say we don't want this ball down here, though. If I don't want this ball down here, I just have to find where that picture was, that was the first one that I actually placed that black box over. That was the first ball I wanted. So what I can do from there is I can just simply click the eyeball, and it'll just take it away from it. If I want it back, I click the eyeball again where it was blank, and it'll bring it back in. And same goes for all the rest of the pictures. Now notice, this eyeball, I did not take anything out of this picture. So technically, this picture is laying on top of the rest of mine. So if I don't want it there, I click that eyeball, and then I'm back to here. Once you are done, you're going to come to File, and you're going to save as. You're going to save it as, again, your parabola name. So I'm going to go to File, Save As. I'm going to save this one to my desktop, which is pretty simple. I'm going to save this as Honig Basketball parabola. And when I save it, it's going to ask me to export, which I do. And I'm just going to come down and find it. And then this picture is what we are going to use when we actually work in GeoGebra. Okay? So I hope that was a pretty quick tutorial about how to use GIMP. If you have any further questions, please let me know, and I'll come around and help you out.